All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you, but the first thing I want to talk about is Grayscale's Litecoin. Unbelievable premium. It's absolutely outrageous. So Grayscale came out with those commercials not that long ago. Oh man, everybody was so hyped for all that institutional investment, even though it doesn't make sense for cryptocurrency, but we'll go with it anyway. So Grayscale's Litecoin N asset, so it's basically LTCN asset, boasting publicly quoted over-the-counter shares, currently trades far above the price of Litecoin, which I think is an understatement. At present time, Litecoin trades at $60.62, while LTCN shares trade at $54.01. The two prices seem close, although each share of LTCN, equals just 0.094 Litecoin, according to Grayscale's website. So when you spend that $54, you're getting less than a tenth of Litecoin. So buying roughly 10.64 Litecoin from Grayscale equates to ownership of about one Litecoin. So at current prices, however, buying one Litecoin worth of LTCN costs about $574. Seems like a pretty good deal. Over $500 more than the price of one Litecoin purchased on crypto markets. August 20 yielded an even higher premium, with each share of LTCN holding a price tag of $99. I think I need to trade for Grayscale. I think I should just apply as a trader and get some of that premium. In July 2020, Grayscale announced its LTCN shares for public over-the-counter quotation and trading, touting regulatory approval from the U.S. financial industry. Grayscale originally made LTCN available in March 2018, but only for accredited participants. Grayscale's time-tested BTC trading product called GBTC often holds a notable premium as well, which I would also imagine is quite an understatement as well. So, just in case you guys were wondering, Grayscale's premiums, you're basically paying, I don't know, like something like 10 times more for the price of one Litecoin. That seems like a really good deal. Again, I should apply as a Grayscale trader. They're like, hey, what kind of experience you got? I don't know, sitting around in my house trading Litecoin for about 90% less than you guys are, so I think I can handle it. Moving on. Barstool Sports founder unprepared for Bitcoin exits after 25K loss. Dave Portnoy, that guy, the guy that interviewed Donald Trump, I don't think that long ago. That guy, yeah. After recently entering the crypto space, Barstool Sports founder turned stock trader Dave Portnoy seems as though he is not quite ready for BTC trading. Yeah, he considers himself like a stock trading guru. That guy, I'm getting killed right now in Bitcoin, he said. In the bull market? Which is, that's actually kind of hard to do. And I don't mean to say this is entirely a bull market. I mean, prices are going down currently. But prices were going up there for a while. It's kind of hard to be losing. Well, Portnoy said in August 21st video posted on Twitter, he says, it took me months to figure out the stock market. Only months? Well, I admit that. He said, I went in, I lost money. That's what's happening in Bitcoin. Not really. He added, noting his unwillingness to mess around with the asset to figure it out. So yeah, he just dove right in. Don't worry about it. I'm a stock guru. I can handle Bitcoin. I'm just gonna jump right in. I ain't gotta mess around with it and figure it out. Stating a lack of available time. I ain't got time for this. I just want to throw money at the problem. That's basically this guy's MO. Portnoy also went on to call Chainlink advocates, also known as Link Marines, frauds. Everyone is just selling it. Well, and buying it too. I mean, it takes two to tango. He said, noting the community perceived shilling of the asset, I haven't dumped anything, Portnoy said. I tried to pump, everything's getting dumped, he added. So, I mean, you haven't dumped anything, but you sold it all? I don't know. This doesn't make sense. I think this guy's just throwing things out there. He says, I don't need this. I know how the stock market works. I own the stock market. I doubt that. This Bitcoin, I don't trust this market at all. I may be out of it by the end of the day and never come back. Oh no, we're going to miss you. If Bitcoin people want to keep my money, you better get Bitcoin up today or else I'm effing out. Nice threat there, but that's never worked ever. I don't know. He seems really full of himself. Seems like he's I don't know. He's like, if you want to keep my money. Anyway, later in the day on August 21st, Portnoy tweeted his exit from BTC, taking a $25,000 loss on the trade, which is just like impossible right now. I mean, the prices are going up. He was also purchasing Link as well, as you can see here. He's talking about the Link community and how everybody's just selling it. So what I suspect is this guy bought Link at like $16 or something. Like he had to have bought like $100,000 of Link or something at like $16, and then it went down, which is just, I mean, if you're a stock trading guru and you see a chart where it's just like doop 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 going up, like the little mountain man on The Price is Right, and then it just shoots up like this, and you buy in up there, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of experience in the crypto market. I mean, if you had experience in the stock market and you see a line going up like this, probably not a good time to buy that. Anyway, a number of crypto space participants showed up to comment on Portnoy's Bitcoin departure, some of them which bashed the internet personality for his inability to remain strong during falling asset prices. How do you hold pizza with those weak hands, one person asked. Says, dude only lasted a week in crypto before throwing in the towel. Portnoy, also known as Davey Day Trader for his stock trading antics, which I'm sure he's just amazing, has previously expressed his lack of knowledge on crypto. He hosted Gemini Crypto Exchange founders Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss at his house on August 13th. For some industry education, Portnoy discussed Link and a bevy of other topics with the Winklevoss twins, statedly allocating $250,000 for crypto trading. Again, let's just go on. Let's go on to CoinMarketCap here. Let's try and figure this out a little bit. So basically, he capitulated on like the 21st, and he got a hold of the Winklevoss twins on the 13th for $250,000 in crypto trading. I would suspect that it took a little bit of time for him to get the money on. He says only a few days later, the Barstool founder found himself deep in the crypto game, romanticizing pumps and dumps. By August 18th, he boasted $98,000 of profit from BTC, calling himself the king of BTC while projecting millions in gains over the coming months. And I don't know about that, because if he got in allocating it on the August 13th, I mean, even if you wanted to, I guess you could have done a wire transfer. He probably did a wire transfer, so he could have got in the next day. So let's take a look. I mean, let's take a look at BTC on August 14th. Let's assume he got in on the next day. Let's check this out. I'm a little curious. August 14th here. Let's go to the 1 month, little 1 month Rooski. And August 14th, see 11,710. By the 18th, it was 12,000. So let's see, August 14th, 11,711, 12,300. So that's really only $500 gain. Let's see, $250,000 in Bitcoin would get you, maybe less than 25 Bitcoin. We can call it, I'm not going to do the math in my head. We'll call it 20, and it went up by $500. So I don't see how he was 98,000, 20 times 5, 20,000. 20 times 500. Nowhere close to 98,000. I think he was just lying to everybody. I think that math. I barely even did math in my head on that one, and I think he's lying to us. And then let's see, when did he capitulate? It was August 21st, which is today, basically. And he lost all the money? How's that possible? This is the worst trader I've ever seen in my life. This is the worst trader ever. How's this even possible? Okay, Chainlink. Let's see. He was all about that chain, those chain bros. And see, August 14th, he could have bought in somewhere around here. Depending on how much money he bought in. See, August 14th or so, $16, $17, went up to 19. Okay, that's some gains, that's some noise gains. And then by the 21st, oh my God, he's at $13. Okay, so that was bad. It's a bad call. Real bad call. Just like buying in up here. Why would you do that? I don't understand. Like, I've been cautious about Link since like $12 or $13, maybe even less. And unfortunately, I probably could have threw some money at Link, back here. But I was just a little bit cautious. Like, well, the price is like super high. I mean, like, what are people even actually using Link? I was like, oh, who's buying it? And it's all the way up here now. And I'm like, yeah, probably shouldn't buy. I'm like, yeah, glad I didn't buy. Right? Terrible trader, absolutely garbage, and I think he's lying. I mean, $98,000 in profit, but he put $250,000 in. I mean, he had to have been up. That means he would have had to have been up. Oh, I mean, like at least 30%. 20, let's see, like over 30%, like maybe even closer to just under 40%. And Bitcoin didn't go up 40%. Maybe Chainlink did, depending on how much money he had in there. I think he's bullshitting everybody. I call bullshit on that one. Moving on. Bitcoin options open interest reaches $2 billion. Should BTC traders worry? So I actually kind of want to talk about this one a little bit in a little detail here. The open interest on Bitcoin options contracts has returned to $2 billion after briefly surpassing the level ahead of the July expiry. Since the beginning of 2020, the BTC options market has grown sixfold, and this has led investors to question whether its potential price impact has become too extreme. And I've been talking about this for a little while now. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange, CME, expiry happens at 8 a.m., while the Deribit and OKX at 3 p.m. I said that properly. Just slow it down. Just like go back in the YouTube video, to put it to 0.5 speed and listen to me say Deribit. I said it fine. Either way, those the CME futures. Now there's plenty of different futures, plenty of different options markets in Bitcoin that either again like roll over either weekly or they're indefinite, etc. However, the big one, CME futures, expires every. There are weekly futures, but they're not as big. Nobody really invests in those as nearly as much. So it's the monthly futures, and those futures expire at the last Friday of every month. So that would be next Friday. I'm recording this on a Friday on the 21st, and that would be on the 28th that they're going to expire. And we've always seen this sort of dump about 7 days, maybe 5 days before the expiries of the expiration of these CME futures. Now, that's not always the case every month, but you can go back on the charts month by month and look at about 5 days, maybe 7 days before the last Friday of every month. There's typically some kind of dump. And that hasn't been the case, I don't think, with the past couple months. Actually, go back on the calendar here. What was the last Friday? July 31st. That's Chainlink though. Let's go to Bitcoin. I don't think that even there was a dump occurred there. I think everybody was bullish in that case, because normally when they're not bullish, they're going to try and short at the end of the month. So let's see here. What was it? The 31st? Yeah, the 31st was just an explosion, and you could see like it was just getting ready, for an explosion. So it's really not every month, but for the most part, for crypto, pretty much all of 2019, a little bit in the early 2020, at the end of every month, CME futures expire, and there's typically this dump, this price volatility, because people are trying to get the price to where they were shorting it, which was usually the case. And the past month or two has been sort of bullish, and the price has been going up. And everybody was betting on futures in that sense, so they were betting long. And so that's going to drive the prices up. But in this case, I think the prices are going to start going down. It's hard to say. I mean, this is like one of those things that I really like to be wrong on, because then the gains continue. And I'm like, well, it was good to be wrong. But with the prices sort of maxing out, at 12,000 or so, a little over 12,000, I think, by this expiration, I think there's going to be a lot of people shorting it. And you might think to yourself, well, because CME futures is sort of cash backed, so, betting, shorting or longing with CME doesn't necessarily affect the actual price of Bitcoin. Like, nobody's actually buying in, nobody's taking liquidity from the market, etc. It's really just basically a bet. It might as well be a horse race bet. It's not really affecting anything either way. You either win or you lose. However, if you had a lot of money, it wouldn't be too difficult. This is sort of a oversimplification, but probably not by much. If you had a lot of money, you could stroll on to CME and say, hey, I want to short Bitcoin. And they're like, okay. And you like, put your money down, and you put your money down. Bitcoin's at 10,000, but you want it short. So you could just already have a bunch of Bitcoin. That would be the case. You would have to already have a bunch of Bitcoin, then go around to various exchanges that CME calculates on. And you could just dump a whole bunch of Bitcoin all over the place. Just brrr. You don't even have to take a loss. Maybe you bought in thousands of dollars ago. It doesn't really matter. And you could draw down the price. And then when your futures expire, oh, look, what a coincidence. I guess I bet properly on that one. Or you could do it the opposite way too. You could say, I'm a long future. I'm a long Bitcoin. And then you could just go to the various exchanges again that CME calculates on, and then you could just pump it up. And then when you get all your money from the futures, you're like, hey, look at all this cash money I got from this bet that I really was riding on. And then you can just sell all your Bitcoin, and then you get a whole bunch of money. You can do it again. So yeah, the crypto market probably really easily manipulatable. I think that's been pretty apparent for many years now, since there's just not a lot of liquidity. And if you had a lot of millions, which there are people that do and that use CME and stuff, and you could easily manipulate the prices up and down to just match your bet effectively. But that's all I have. So the idea here is, I think in the next few days, in the next week, definitely be watching your trades. If you got trades, open trades or anything like that open, if you got any money on the markets, etc., make sure you guys watch, because I think there's going to be some real volatility here soon. The prices sort of went up, and they sort of stabilized at a high price, and that kind of leads me to believe, we even have like a partial, like a little lopsided Bart Simpson here with Bitcoin at over 12,000. And, since it didn't keep going, there's not much reason to long it at the moment. And I think the majority of the whales are probably shorting at the moment, and might try to drive the prices down overall. Again, one of those things I'd love to be wrong on, though. I want the prices to keep going. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, all that stuff helps me out a lot. And another little announcement, I resurrected an Instagram of mine, and I take random pictures, I suppose, and I've put some things on it. I think I made an Instagram like 10 years ago or whenever it came out, and then I never actually touched it. And it had an email address that like was an AOL.com email address that I hadn't used in like a decade before that. So I have no access to it. So I managed to actually log in and change the email address and all that good stuff. So I have it back, and I don't even know why. But hey, if you guys want to follow me, it's in like the description, as well as my other social media and stuff. Give me a follow. We could be like cool friends or something. And I don't shill herbal supplements on it, because I know I went on to Instagram and I'm like, this is nothing but herbal supplement shillers. People trying to sell you Plexus and all that stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. Either way, I'll see you guys next time.